Good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Thursday? I pray all is well. I pray that your morning has gotten off to an amazing start. But if not, hit that reset button, honey, and just start all over again. It's just that simple. I don't know what you woke up to this morning. I don't know what you laid down to last night. But I know whatever it was, whatever it is, God is in control. Nothing catches God by surprise. Sometimes we go through things and we are caught off guard. We are surprised. But there's nothing that you and I will ever go through or face and God doesn't already know firsthand. But I know in his word, he said we are more than conquerors. I know he said the battle has already been won. Sometimes when we go through things, it doesn't feel like the battle has been won. The battle has been won, the fight has been fixed, but you still have to show up for it. So with that being said, I just wanted to hop on and encourage someone that might be going through something, that may be feeling down in their spirit because they just don't understand what is going on. They don't understand why what happened. They don't have any answers. God is silent. He's not saying much. And you just beginning to feel alone. You beginning to feel left out. So I want to encourage you and let you know you are not alone. You are not alone. God is with you. God sees you. But what you are going through, there's a purpose behind it. There's a reason for it. So the title of today's little message, little word of encouragement is The Showdown. The Showdown. And the definition of showdown, hold on, let me pull it up. Where did it go? Showdown. Showdown is a big argument or conflict which is intended to settle a dispute that has lasted for a long time. Let me read that again. The definition of showdown, that's the title of today's message, is a big argument or conflict which is intended to settle a dispute that has lasted for a long time. And the reference scripture we're going to be using today is Job 1. I got 13 and 22, but I'm going to start at verse 7. So I'm going to be skipping around. So it's going to be Job 7, 13 through 22. And I'm going to be sort of hopping around because I want to make this as plain as I possibly can, because sometimes we go through things in life and it doesn't make sense. We don't know why. So I'm going to get into this, and I pray that at the end of this that you will have a clear and a better understanding of why you might be going through what you're going through, why you had to face what you face, why you had to lose certain things, why certain people had to walk away, or either God removed you. Maybe you are in a season of isolation and you just don't understand what is going on. I pray that you're able to stick around, but if not, come back and catch the replay. It's going to be worth it. So we're going to start at Job 1, and we're going to start at verse 7. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." So the devil, he's lurking, he's looking, he's searching. He's trying to find someone that don't have a grip on God like they should. He's trying to find someone that does not trust God like they should. He's trying to find someone that doesn't have faith in God like they should. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for that one person that says, "I believe God, I trust God, I have faith in God." He's looking for those. We're going to move on. I'm going down now to verse 13. Well, hold on. So the Lord said, have you considered my servant Job? There is no one else like him. And the devil says, don't you have a hedge of protection? Aren't you covering him? So can't no one get to him but you asking me? How can I consider someone that you are protecting? How can I get to someone that you are covering? And so God said, well, you know what we'll do? Let's do this. I'll remove the hedge. And everything you can touch, you're in control of, but his life. You cannot take his life. But everything that you think that matters to him, everything that you know that he loves, I'm going to allow you access to those things. Let the showdown begin. One day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house, a messenger came to Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby, and the I don't know if that's Sabines attacked and made off with them. They put the servants to the sword. Okay, here comes the attack. That's the first attack. Well, that didn't do it. He didn't get Job to get out of character. So you know how the devil does. He doesn't give up. When you don't go down with the first blow, he comes with the second one. While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, the fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep and the servants, and I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Now he just got through finding out that he had lost his donkeys and his cattle and his oxen. Then he gets another word. This other person ain't even got through telling his story of what had happened. And here comes someone else with some more bad news. It said, while the messenger was yet speaking, another one showed up and let him know that there was fire fell from heaven and burned up his sheep, burned up the sheep and the servants. And then it goes on to say, while that servant was speaking, another one showed up and said, hold on. Give me a second. Burn them sheep. Okay, while he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, I don't know if that's Chaldons formed 3 raiding parties and swept down on your camels and made off with them. They put the servants to the sword. While he was yet speaking, another messenger came and said, your sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house. Then suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on them and they are dead. Can you imagine being in a situation where you're getting bad news after bad news? This is happening, that is happening. This has taken place, that has taken place. And it's coming back to back, and you don't have time to even figure out what in the world is going on. Can you imagine how Job must have felt? I'm sure he realize the life that he has lived before God, but yet and still these things, these situations is happening to him. Sometimes you're going to go through things in life. It's not going to make sense. You're not going to be able to pinpoint. You're not going to be able to put your finger on it, but yet and still you find yourself in a situation where you feel hopeless and you feel helpless. And you feel like God has just went on his merry way. He has forgotten about you. He's not concerned about you. But yet and still, Job is trying to figure out what is going on. Why did I lose? Why did I lose my children? Why did I lose my life as far as how I take care of my family? And that will make anyone wonder. That will make anyone question. Because even in the word, it said his friends began to judge him and say, Job, what did you do? No one experienced such great loss and haven't done anything. What did you do, Job? Come on, let's sit by this fire. Let's have a discussion. Let's get it all out. I think you'll feel better if you just come clean. Have you ever been there? Where you've been through some horrific things, where things have taken place in your life, and you need someone to have just a little bit of compassion, a little bit of understanding, but instead they begin to judge. They begin to ask you, what did you do? What did you do wrong? Who did you offend? Who did you hurt? And you know you had done nothing wrong. But yet you find yourself in a situation that you cannot explain. Not only did Job lose his sons and daughters and his cattle and his oxen and different things such as that, he began to have the enemy began to attack him physically. You didn't suffer all these losses and that wasn't enough. So now you are being attacked physically. My Lord. My Lord. Have you ever been there? Where you just begin to say, is there anything left? Am I going to have anything left? Because you're feeling that everything that you used to have has been attacked. And now you're being attacked physically. My Lord. But Job came to himself. He felt what he felt. And I'm sure he had some thoughts. But one thing he didn't do, he didn't charge God foolishly. Even though the wife said, this is what you need to do. You just need to curse God and die. Because what type of father would allow such things to happen to one of his children and yet say that he loved him? But the father had given the devil strict instruction. You can touch those things that you think that he's going to walk away from me for. Now, some people will walk away from God over material things. People will walk away from things that they feel like God gave them. Surely he won't take it away. But God giveth and he takes away. But Job understood that nothing could happen to him that God did not either authorize, give permission for, or at least he knew. There's nothing that we go through in this life that God does not know what we're going through. So Job understood, listen, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm going through this. I don't know why I had to go through that. I don't know why I had to lose this. I don't know why I had to lose that. But one thing I know, it did not catch God by surprise. It did not catch God off guard. He didn't know about the conversation where God had told Satan, have you considered? Have you thought about Yolanda? Have you thought about Mary? Have you thought about Tyrese? See, when God offers you up, it's because he has confidence in you. He know you're not going to curse him. He know you're not going to leave him. He know you're not going to walk away from him. He know you're not going to turn your back on him. Have you considered them? This is where the showdown begins. So you begin to experience things in your life that don't make sense, that you can't explain, that you can't give an account for, because you know it's not going to make sense to people. Because people are going to say, just as Job's friends did, what did you do? I know you did something. I know you said something. I know you crossed somebody. What did you do? But my Bible tells me Job hadn't done anything. But he was serving God, but yet and still, he was offered up. He was considered. He said, have you considered? Have you thought about Yolanda? You can touch this. You can touch that. You can remove this. You can take that. But her life don't belong to you. And when it's all said and done, she's still going to be standing. It said one day, Job's sons and daughters was feasting. One day. One day you were just minding your own business. You were just taking care of business as normal. You were just doing your normal routine. But one day, something happened that changed the direction in which your life was once going. One day. You wasn't bothering anybody. You hadn't done anything wrong. You was just going about your day. But one day, everything changed. One day, there was a shift. One day, my day was a little bit after Thanksgiving of 2023, where things were shifted in my life, where my life was going in one direction, and then all of a sudden it took a turn. I didn't understand. It didn't make sense. I knew there was nothing that I had done wrong, but yet and still what happened, happened. And I got into a place where I'm like, Lord, this is just not making sense. What in the world? Why did this happen? Why did this happen the way that it happened? And there was different ones, you know how you can hear it in their voice, almost like Joe's friend. Well, what did you do? Because nothing like this can happen if you didn't do something. And I got to the point where I had to just stop talking about it. See, I didn't know that God had a conversation with Satan and said, have you considered my servant Yolanda? Have you thought about, since you're roaming to and fro, seeking who you can devour, seeking who you can destroy, seeking who you can take down, have you considered her? See, it's something about when God considers you. It's because he knows something about you. My Lord. Whew. Jesus. Sometimes God has to show you who you are. Sometimes God has to show you what's in you. Because I remember the time where I would have went off. I remember the time when I would have taken it there. And I would have told you what time to be there. But it's something about when God offers you up. That's when the showdown begins. So, in this situation, I didn't understand. It didn't make sense. But yet and still, I had to stay committed to the process. Job stayed committed to the process. Even though he had suffered great loss, even physically. But he did not charge God foolishly. See, if God offers you up, it's because God knows what's in you. And sometimes we feel like, man, I can't take this, I can't take that. And God is saying, sure you can. Lord, I can't do this, I can't do that. He says, sure you can. Have you had a sure you can moment? Have you had a sure you can experience? It's a privilege when God offers you up. Now, I know there's different definitions for privilege, because privilege means, man, you get the first pick of the litter for this, the first pick of litter for that. But this privilege is a little different if you don't understand. It's a privilege when God offers you up. Because God is saying, I got confidence in you. We can let the showdown begin. And I guarantee you, they not going to bow. They not going to compromise. They not going to curse me. They not going to judge me foolishly. Let the showdown begin. So the showdown began when Job lost his living, his sons and his daughters. And the one person that should have been consoling him and encouraging him, that one person said, curse God and die. Have you ever been in a situation and you just need to be encouraged? You just needed to be uplifted. But there was no compassion. There was no understanding. So there Job was, just going through what he had to go through, because he understood that God could have stopped it. But he understood that that was just something that he had to go through. Sometimes God will put us through a test to see just where your heart is. God is just wanting to know, do you love me? Do you love me for me? Or do you love me for the things that I have given you, or the things that I can give you? That was a great test that Job passed. The Hebrew boys, when they was being threatened to be thrown in the fire, they said, we're not going to bow. We're not going to bow and worship you. We just not going to do it. So if the only thing left is for us to be thrown in the fire, let the showdown begin. Because it is on and popping. They ended up in the fire. but they was not consumed. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. Have you ever been in a situation where you just felt like you was consumed, but you didn't even smell like smoke? You kept showing up, and people that knew your story, they wonder, how in the world is she keep going? She keeps showing up. And they began to say, we threw 3 in the fire, but look like there's 4. I may not be that good in math, but I know 3 is not that many that you have to count, but I know I'm seeing 4. You may be in a situation today, and you may feel like that you are in that situation all by yourself. Because those that you felt that should be with you, that should be standing for you, that should be encouraging you, they're not there. I come to encourage you, to let you know God is with you. He's in that situation with you. He's going through that situation with you. He said, let the showdown begin. I'm with you. I got you. You're not by yourself. He told Abraham, get your son, the one that I know that you love. I gave him to you. But this is what I need you to do. I need you to sacrifice him, my Lord. Have you ever felt like you've had to sacrifice some things that you love? Have you ever experienced losing things that you love? But it's another thing when God tells you to sacrifice it. It's another thing when God tells you to leave it. It's another thing when God tells you to walk away from it. Abraham, it didn't say he asked any question. He just began to get everyone together and said, this is what I got to do. He gets up there. He obeying the instructions from beginning to the end. He got ready to sacrifice his son. And he heard a voice say, stay your hand. There is a ram. You may feel like you're on the verge of giving up, throwing in the towel, walking away, saying enough is enough. I can't take any more. I can't go any further. But if you can just hold on just a little while longer, if you can hang in there just a little while longer, if you can just stay just a little while longer, I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know you're seeing everyone else living and not going through, and you're just tired. But hang on in there. And watch God turn your life around. My Lord, He's the only one that can do it. Job, he received double for his trouble. Nothing you lose is in vain. Nothing you lost is in vain. God is going to give you double. Double for your trouble. But it's going to take you staying committed to the process. I'm trying to pull up something. It's going to take you staying committed to the process. Cry if you have to. Whatever you need to do. But do not ignore your emotions or what you feel. We serve a God that feels and understands. Whatever you're going through, if you have to cry, if you have to just shut yourself off, whatever you have to do, know that God understands. And just because you may be crying, that doesn't mean that you're guilty. Just because you're crying, it doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. God gave us emotions. and it's okay to use them. I cried, not because of what happened, but the callousness in which it happened and who the offense came from. You know, it says no weapons formed against us is going to prosper. But sometimes it's who's holding the weapon that hurts the most. When the person that has great influence in a church, on the job, in the community, and they can be so callous and so heartless to do certain things and say that they are a woman of God, it hurts. It's actually, it's a different level of hurt. But nevertheless, we are held accountable for how we respond to offenses. No one never said offenses feel good, because they don't, especially depending on who it comes from, where it comes from. Sometimes it's not the weapon, but who's holding it. And I just began to say, Lord, I don't understand this. Life was lifing. I was headed in this direction. Now I'm headed in that direction. I don't even know how the pivot even happened. I don't know why the pivot happened. But I know God is in control of what I'm going through. And he's going to get all the glory. Listen, some situations is tough. Some situations will make you turn your back, will make you walk away, will make you compromise, will make you bow. But I made a vow, my Lord. I don't know about you, but I made a vow, and I won't take it back. No matter what I have to go through, no matter what I have to face, no matter who comes up against me, I made a vow, and I won't take it back. This situation, it would have made your grandma walk away. But I made a vow, and I won't take it back. And when I received that phone call that said, God said for you to reach out to this individual and let this individual know you forgive her for what she did to you. You forgive her. I had to forgive her for doing me wrong. I had to forgive her for stabbing me in the back. I had to forgive. He didn't say apologize for what you did. So let me make that clear. I done nothing wrong. But I had to forgive her for what she did to me. I'm not going to tell you it was easy. I had to take a day to get myself together. But again, I'm not held responsible. We're not held responsible for the offense and what someone else does. We are held accountable for how we respond to it. And God said before this get out of control, I need you to forgive. And I need you to let it go. Because it's now under my control. I'm now in control. I'm now I can fight on your behalf. Now I can fight for you. The battle is not yours. It was a showdown. But I had already told him you wasn't going to walk away. I tried to let him know you wasn't going to turn your back. I tried to let him know you wasn't going to curse me. But he wanted this showdown anyway, so let the showdown begin. So I had to do what my TT just said, let it go. There's something that you may be holding on to right now. Someone hurt you, someone offended you, someone lied on you. God is telling you today, let it go. Because I can only fight for you if you let it go. Whatever you're holding on to today, it doesn't matter what they did. It doesn't matter how callous it was. God understands it hurt. He understands you cried. He understands all of that. But he's saying now, if you want me to work for you, I need you to let it go. So again, I took a day. I had to think about it. And I made contact. And I said, God said, this is what I must do. So I'm obeying his instructions. I got till today, and that's been a few weeks ago, if not a month. The individual has not said not one word. Not one word. And the devil said, she's going on just like she hasn't done anything. But I can't even worry about that because God said he's in control. God said the battle is not mine. He said it's his. The showdown is not between me and the flesh and blood or the vessel. It's the spirit that was in operation. So the showdown is between him and the devil. So I can't get myself into any trouble. He said, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Even though you clearly see the individual, but you have to look at the spirit that was operating through the individual. It doesn't make a difference the title. It doesn't make a difference the influence. It doesn't make a difference where they come from. It doesn't make a difference who they are. The Bible said the devil can fool the very elect. So none of us is exempt from being used of the devil. The devil will use anything that's available. So you may be wondering why you went through what you went through. Why you going through what you're going through. God has said, have you considered? Have you considered my servant Diane? Have you considered my servant Jamie? Have you considered them? I know you think you know them, but you don't know them, you know of them. Have you considered my servant Yolanda? You got to be determined not to bow, not to compromise, not to get back. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. You curse me, I'm going to curse you. You can't do that. God wants to fight. He wants to fight for you. Because the battle is not yours. It feels personal. But God got trust and faith, just as he did in Job. The devil said, if you touch all those material things, he's going to curse you. He's going to curse you to your face. So God may have allowed the devil to touch some of your possessions, some of your material things. But don't judge God foolishly. God is in control of everything, and everything belongs to him. I don't care who's in possession of it. I don't care who came and took it. Everything belongs to him. And whatever you lost, you'll get it back ×2. Whoever walked away, you'll get it back ×2. Whoever didn't have time for you, you'll get it back ×2. But God just needs you to hold on, to hang in there just a little while longer. Your change is going to come. Job received double for his trouble. Everything he lost. He was in a better shape than he was before the showdown. Thank you, Holy Spirit. God put him in a better position than he was before the showdown. God got you. And you're going to be in a better situation than you was before the showdown. If you got something going on in your life and it just doesn't make sense, you don't know how to tell anyone about it because you know it's not going to make sense to them. You don't know how to even explain it because it's not going to make any sense. Understand, it does not have to make sense as long as it makes sense to God. As long as God is in control, you don't have to keep talking about it, nor do you have to keep trying to explain your innocence. Because in due time, if you faint not, if you don't walk away, if you don't give up, he's going to vindicate you. He's going to clear your name. You know how it is sometimes when we are done wrong, we want to set the record straight. We want to clear our name. We don't want our name just out there dirty. But God said, I'm going to do it. I got this. And when I do it, it's done. So whatever you're going through today, whatever you're facing, whatever you lost, whoever walked away, whoever did you wrong, just know God's seen it. Just know God knows all about it. He knew it before it even happened. But he didn't stop it. Why? He know you, Job. He know you was going to stand. He knew you was going to keep going. He knew you was going to keep showing up. He knew you was going to persevere, even if you had to all by yourself. And that's been my situation, all by myself. But that's okay. Because when God gets through pruning and doing what needs to be done, a lot of people is going to be shocked. A lot of people is going to understand that's why she kept showing up. That's why she wouldn't turn her back. That's why she wouldn't throw in the towel. It makes sense now. I'm going through so you will know that you can go through, that you can make it, that you don't have to give up. You don't have to throw in the towel. That you too can make it through. You can make it through. I don't care how big your Goliath is. God will give you the strength to fight it. God will give you the strength to stand up against it. All he asks you to do is to show up. Jesus was tested after he had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. But he just kept giving the devil the word. You know it is written. Satan, you know I can't do that. You know I can't do this. You know I can't act like that. You know I can't be cursing nobody out. You know I can't be trying to get even. You know that. You know the word. It is written. It is written. That's all he kept telling. It is written. I can't do that. It is written. I can't act like that. I have to just trust God. You have to just trust God. We have to trust God. Because many of us are going to be put in situations where we're going to be tested. And you're going to know who you are. And you're going to know who you love or what you love the most. Job was tested thoroughly, and he passed. And he was given double for his trouble. God said, I'm going to give you double because I know I interrupted your life. I know I interfered in your life. I know I kind of shook some things up in your life. I brought some things to your life and people started talking about you, but you stood anyway. So I'm going to reward you for the trouble, for the accusations, for the lies. I'm going to reward you for your trouble. Let the showdown begin. Because God got you. I got to go. I pray that something was said that will cause you to reevaluate what you're going through, what you went through. And you say to yourself, let the showdown begin. I am committed to the process. I am determined to stand, determined to stay, determined not to compromise, determined not to bow down. But I'm going to stand. Be like those Hebrew boys. In the fire I go. In the fire I go. It doesn't feel good, but it's going to work out. It's going to work out for you good. So I'm grateful this morning. I'm thankful for everything that God has allowed me to go through. I thank God for having the confidence that He has in me, because I've never had confidence in myself. But the things that God has carried me through, the things that God has allowed me to go through, I look at myself and I never would have made it. I never would have made it without Him. I wouldn't be still standing without Him. I only still show up because of Him. You're going to lose some things in this lifetime. You're going to lose some people. But you still have to stand. Even if you have to stand all by yourself. Job didn't have nobody. His friends began to judge him, and what did you do? You know you did something. Come clean. All this ain't happening to you and you didn't do nothing. No compassion, no understanding, no love. The wife was saying just curse God and just die. He didn't have no one in his corner. So he had to look within. Lord, I forgot to read this. This conversation between God and Satan teaches us an important fact about God. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I did not want to forget to read this. He is fully aware of every attempt by Satan to bring suffering and difficulty upon us. He knows, he understands, he's not in the dark. While God may allow us to suffer for a reason beyond our understanding, He is never caught by surprise by our troubles and is always compassionate. You may feel like He's not compassionate, but there's a reason why you're going through what you're going through. And it's bigger than anything that you can ever understand. Job did not hide his overwhelming grief. He had not lost his faith in God. I don't care what you lose. People, stuff, things. Don't lose your faith in God. Instead, his emotions showed that he was human and that he loved his family. He loved the things that he lost, but he loved God more because he understood God giveth and God taketh away. God created our emotions, and it is not sinful or inappropriate to express them as Job did. If you have experienced a deep loss, a disappointment, or a heartbreak, admit your feelings to yourself and others and grieve. It's okay. It's okay. You may be judged wrongly. It's okay. They may be saying them tears because you're guilty. That's okay. Job had lost his possession and family in this first of Satan's test. But he reacted rightly towards God by acknowledging God's sovereign authority over everything God had given him. He understood. He understood. You got to understand. Satan lost his first round. Job passed the test and proved that people can love God for who he is, not for what he gives. My God, that's powerful all by itself. God is enough. Whatever you have lost, whatever you feel like you're losing, God is enough. God is enough. My Lord, Satan lost the first round. So anytime Satan loses the first round, he's going to come back with a second. He's going to come back with a third. He's going to come back with a fourth or fifth. But you just be ready for the showdown. Because God is enough. If God is the only one that is fighting on your behalf, if God is the only one that's cheering you on, telling you you can make it, you can get through, just keep going, just keep persevering, just keep showing up. God is all you need. Because sometimes people can't hang in there with you. And they'll walk away. But you hang in there. You hang on in there and watch God turn your life around. Just as he did Job. If he did it for Job, he can do it for you. Everyone have a blessed day. Enjoy your day. And remember, it's just a showdown. It's just a showdown. To show the devil who you really are. And to show you what's in you. To show the devil who you really are. To let the devil know Yolanda ain't somebody that you can just play with. She's not someone that you can just mess with. If I considered her, if I put her up, it's because I know what's in her. See, the devil got to know that God's real chosen can't be messed with, can't be touched. He thought he knew me. He thought he knew how I would react. He thought he knew how I would respond. But God. But God. Not me, but God. See, when you're a true follower, you'll be tested just like that. But if Job passed the test, so can you. So can you. God has confidence in you. God didn't call you out for a reason. God didn't consider you. God considered you for a reason. Because sometimes we just don't know who we are. We don't know what's on the inside of us. And God said, I got to show you that there's more in you than what you think. You may have failed some tests. You may have fallen by the wayside. But I guarantee you, you won't fall this time. You won't compromise this time. You won't bow this time. You won't walk away this time. You won't give up this time. This time. You don't have to worry about last time. New mercy, new grace. God is saying, this time, you won't fail. He's counting on you. He's counting on me. Let the showdown begin. I gotta go. You all have an amazing day, and have an amazing day on purpose. And if God has chosen you, it's a privilege. It's an honor. It's because God is saying, I know you. And I know you're going to stand. I know you're going to finish. The trials, the tests may slow you down. But you keep going. There's something on the inside of you. And it just calls you just to keep going. Lord, I don't understand. But you never stop moving forward. Lord, this doesn't make sense. But you just keep moving forward. Tears running down your face. But you just keep moving forward. I don't know how I'm going to make it another day. But you just keep moving forward. As long as you don't stop, you're going to make it to the finish line. And God is going to send those that will come by and cheer you on and say, you can make it. You got this. Hang on in there. Hold on. There's a reward if you make it to the finish line. God had to send people in my life to encourage me. And it wasn't the ones that I felt should have been. And that's okay. Oftentimes it's not going to be that. Jesus had to leave his hometown because they received him not. If you had to leave your hometown, that consists of family and friends. So it is what it is. But every time I felt like, Lord, I just don't know. He will send a word of encouragement. Or he would have me to come and encourage. And as I am encouraging someone, I'm encouraging myself. So no matter how you may feel like giving up, just keep moving forward. Your pace may slow down sometime, but you just keep moving forward. Because it's just something burning on the inside of you. It's just like fire that's saying, I can't quit, I can't stop, I can't go back, I can't look back. I got to keep going. Because my change is ahead of me. My blessing is ahead of me. My reward is ahead of me. I have to keep going. You can make it. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to walk away. You don't have to quit. You don't have to charge God foolishly. It's just a showdown. He got your back. Until next time, you all have an amazing day. And to each and every one that was able to hang in there, that was able to hold on, that was able to hold out, I pray that this message, that it meets you right where you are. God knows where you are. Sometimes we don't even know where we are. But as long as he knows, you're going to make it through. You're going to get through this. This too shall pass. Trouble don't last always. Your joy is coming in the morning. It's just a showdown. And God has offered you up. Don't let him down. Don't let him down. You know how it feels when you let someone down, or how it feels when you have been let down. Don't let God down. He has confidence in you. that you're going to stand, that you're going to stay committed. And he's going to fight. He's fighting on your behalf. He got you. Remember, it's just a showdown. Until next time, you all have an amazing day. Speak life. Speak life over yourself, over your friends, over your foes, over those that walked away, those that pushed you aside, those that said that you'll never amount to anything. They said you'll never go anywhere. They said you'll never make it out. They went as far as saying you will never make it through. Speak life over them as well. Water their garden. Because as long as you water in their garden, you're watering yours. We are our brother's keeper. We are our sister's keeper. Speak life. God bless you, Sister Jamie, for showing up. I pray that you have an amazing day. My Lord, I pray that you have an amazing day. I don't know, but God knows. And he's fighting. He's working on your behalf. It's just a showdown. It's just a showdown. It's just a showdown. It's just a showdown, my Lord. Woo! It's just a showdown. My Lord. Help me, Holy Spirit. It's just a showdown. Your change is going to come. It's going to come. Your change is going to come. It's just a showdown. I gotta go. God bless.